Hey guys,
Hi guys, good to see you again.
Nick speaks, and today we are discussing with Alla wonderful weather and also red tea that we are
Yes, we're
drinking
drinking
here.
red tea. I don't know if you can see that.
No, you
you
cannot
cannot
see
see
that.
because
Yeah.
I've already finished it. Okay, we have a nice and interesting topic today to discuss. Will you please introduce the topic?
You're speaking like on TV.
I had I had an experience being on one live program in Spain.
Okay, tell me about that. I'm sure the subscribers would be delighted to get to know about that.
It was really cool. It was my dream to become a journalist, and when I wanted to enter the university, I had no publications in some Belarusian newspapers, so I could not go to this university. And then my second choice was the linguistic one, and I really loved that. But about the TV program that I took part in, it was in Spain, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I'm a volunteer of one organization where kids go to Spain and they have some health problems and some family problems. And so this is a Chernobyl program, and we were invited on the central television of the southern part, if I'm not mistaken, of Spain to be there. So we were asked lots of questions about, tell us guys about Belarus, how's life going there? Okay, then they talk to some kids, tell me about your problems, the Chernobyl catastrophe. Do we still feel it, and how is it now?
Like tell us about your country and everything, yeah?
Something like that. Yes, and how life is different in Spain and Belarus, this kind of stuff. And so
What was your profile on television? Like, were you a host or like the host of the party, like the anchor? Like,
we were on a television program, and so there was one lady, she's a TV presenter, and she was interviewing us, me
Okay.
and some kids.
So you were like an interviewee there, not as a...
I wasn't there TV presenter, so I was a guest.
Yeah, but these opportunities to make videos and post them on Facebook and on YouTube
Yeah.
give us the opportunity to realize our dreams to become celebrities, like very popular people who are
Maybe.
recognized in the street.
Maybe you would love to be like this person. I'm not dreaming of become somebody really famous people to meet me on the street, but
No, I definitely dreamed about it a bit, but like it was not a serious ambition, to become a TV star or something. But
Okay.
I'm delighted because it's a real valid opportunity for students to see my English and to
Yeah.
see like different places and what is most important, great people I'm meeting.
that's true. That's true. Nice.
If you remember, of course you remember, last week, no, 2 weeks ago actually, we had a very nice meeting with Alla, and we spent a lot of time together. I really enjoyed it, and I then later watched it like maybe 15 times.
Really?
No.
It took you that
No.
much time. I didn't believe that. Okay.
So, just kidding, not 15
Yeah, you can't
times,
be
but
serious.
a lot of people watched these videos. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you. Really, lots of people also wrote me their comments, and that was nice. Thanks, guys.
Like the first video was from a cafe. We discussed different things about like languages and stuff.
Teaching problems, and
Yeah,
talking
so,
about teaching.
go ahead, guys.
Teacher is a personality.
As a personality, absolutely. Go ahead, guys, and check out those videos. You're gonna love them, as we did. I personally, I love them, and I also liked my videos. It's one of the few likes that I gave to my own videos, because like, who's gonna like his own video?
You can
Come
do it
on.
right now. Likes.
Yeah, by the way, if you watch it, not just watch, you can like and also share it with your friends if you think they might be interested.
So we decided to continue, and we decided to shoot some more videos discussing very interesting topics. And it seems to me it's more interesting not to hear just one person's opinion, but to share, to
yeah.
agree or disagree. And today we
Yeah.
might have some hot debates. Let's see.
Maybe, yeah. I
Maybe.
feel like Alla is going to have a debate with me.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Let's see. Okay.
Before that, what do you understand? Agree to disagree. If two people agree to disagree, what does it mean?
You're asking those who are watching us.
Yeah, of course. Please comment. But what about you? So.
So disagree or disagree? You
Yeah.
mean?
For example, if there are two people.
Yeah.
And they
Somebody
agreed
agrees?
to disagree.
Ah, okay. They agreed that they do not support together one opinion. So if they agreed to disagree, that means, for example,
Exactly,
that
very
you
nice.
and me, we decided that we don't like, for example, this place. And we agreed that we...
No, actually.
No,
Actually, no. Sorry.
Maybe my example was wrong, but it seems to me I got your point that two people agree that they disagree about something. So
Yeah, like they agreed that they are not going to try and change somebody else's opinion. Like, for example, I'm okay that, for example, Alla don't like this tea. Like, I just accept it, but even if it is my favorite tea.
yes,
Yeah, like,
yeah.
I'm okay with that.
So my example maybe was not the best one, still.
But we are working.
Yeah, okay. So, what are we
Yeah.
discussing? Today we are going to discuss some problems, some obstacles, some barriers that students might have while trying to study, to learn any foreign language.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, a question to you. Remember, if you have ever learned any foreign language in your life, what was maybe the first difficult moment that you faced with?
Yeah, what was the most difficult aspect of learning English? Or, yeah, obviously, if you watching this video, and if you've been watching us for like 6 minutes already, so you obviously understand us, or try to understand us. So you speak English, meaning that in most cases English is not your mother tongue, because most of my Facebook friends or YouTube subscribers are non-native speakers. Yeah. So as for me, the first obstacle of learning a language is an old woman.
But there also can be different kind of people having different character, traits of character, and different abilities. You know, even I can give you an example. My granny, she is 87. She has been teaching kids for 25 years at school,
Yeah.
and now she can, I don't know, do the crosswords easily. She can read a poem and then tell you this poem by heart, like maybe 5 verses, and it's okay for her. And I haven't tried to teach her English. Maybe
Okay.
that's going to be different, but I mean that in spite of the age that she has, she can learn something and she can do something easily. She has still a good handwriting, and
Okay.
so people can be different, but I can agree that lots of students that I also had in my practice who are over the age of, let's say, 50, 45, it's more difficult for them to be a part of a lively, not teenagers, but 20, 30-year-olds.
Probably I should explain my point.
Yes, maybe I didn't get it right.
My point was that like the number one obstacle for me is that most teachers are female, and they have a fixed methods. So they have a lesson plan.
So, but you didn't mention this teacher, that it was about teacher. You told that an old lady. And so an old
I
lady.
wanted to expand actually, but you took
Yeah,
over.
I interrupted you. Okay, so
problems.
go on.
Yeah, so my obstacle in a language study is a senior citizen who is a teacher and who's got like her methods and and she tries to do the same that like for everyone, and like she's trying to like show me pictures and then give me grammar exercises and then give me like blah 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 blah. But the thing is that I'm a different guy.
Yes.
I'm like, if I find things something boring, I can tolerate it. No problem.
Sorry.
I can tolerate it for around like 60 seconds.
Maybe we should stop it and then grab
no.
a new one.
No, I think the viewers will be.
We can show you the surrounding while we are trying to install
Yeah.
it back.
The thing is that I forgot my camera holder, so that's the reason. It's kind of a hush posh today. But anyways, I think it's fun.
You can see, if you could only see the way we try to
Yeah,
shoot this video.
yeah,
And
right. To arrange the camera and everything. Yeah. So what I was saying.
the lady who is trying to do the same with all kind of students.
Yeah, because I know that I'm different from everyone. I'm unique. That's a fact. I knew that for a fact, like forever. So from day one, from minute one, the minute I entered the classroom, I knew it already. I knew it's going to be boring. I could understand whatever they are learning today. I'm going to be a fast learner. I'm going to interrupt everyone because I would get excited and share my jokes.
Isn't it a little bit impolite to interrupt everybody? Like
Yeah, but if
you
I'm
know
excited.
you know the answer, but like you are in a group of students and
Yeah.
all the time you want to say this answer, but you don't give possibility to for the others to think.
Yeah, but I can give them one shot, two shots, but all the time
No.
waiting for some, I don't know, retarded guy to think while like I'm wasting my time here. That's I think.
That's why in your situation you need a tutor because you will be the only student and you can give him or her all the true answers that you know.
But the thing is that a student like me is the worst nightmare of every teacher. I know that for a fact as well.
So that means that I'm lucky not to be a Spanish teacher.
Well, actually, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because
Good to know that.
like I know a program, I can guess what's gonna happen, and I'm bored already. Like you haven't just started speaking, and I'm already bored.
Yeah.
And I want a lively classroom. I want some like people who are quick thinkers.
It seems to me it's not only about like us, for example, trying to learn any foreign language, but if we want to go to any kind of workshop, and as we are teachers and we are the organizers of lots of the events and workshops as well, so we already know in advance what's going to happen, and that's why we become bored at the very beginning.
No,
No?
no. The thing is that in a normal classroom, the
Let's
minds.
take not only classroom, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, if you want to attend any kind of useful meeting for you, and you say that, for example, in the classroom,
yeah.
you already know the program, and that's why you become bored. But I think it goes further. Like any meeting, if you know what's going to happen,
No,
as you
no, only English class. English or some other languages. At the meeting, every meeting has agenda, and it has a list of questions, list of like problems to address, and that's why we just like address these questions one by one.
sometimes I like not to know what's going to happen because it's going to be more interesting for me.
No, but for example, in business, like what's the reason to meet if there is nothing to discuss?
Yeah, I mean the business, but okay, maybe.
Yeah, like for example, like a friendly conversation is different from a business one. Would you agree with that?
Yes, of course, sure. And about the lady that you mentioned recently, an old lady that's trying to adjust
Okay,
her.
it's senior citizens.
Okay, senior citizen that's trying to adjust her program to all the students, like to have the same program. I am 100% sure that no matter how old are you, you have to be as a teacher very flexible. Because, for example, I've spent, I don't know, 3 hours preparing very interesting activity, and I have my morning group, it's great. And then I understand that with the evening group,
It's not gonna work.
it's not going to work, and I
Yeah,
have in
right.
1 minute I have to change it quickly
Yeah.
as possible, because like students, they don't have to notice that there is some problem with me.
Yeah.
But it's not a problem with me. I've spent lots of time preparing, but it's just not, it doesn't work with this kind of people.
Yeah, right.
And this kind of group.
So very often you're a psychologist. Yeah,
True.
when you work with a group.
True.
Also, like the motivation of group members should match.
Yes, true.
Otherwise, for some, it will be a waste of time, and for
Yeah.
the others, it will be such a challenge that they are not going to live up to like these expectations.
You know, talking about this, I'm thinking about two different types of people. There are people who really like to set goals, to reach goals. They need to know to have plan, and they are the fans of, oh, I did that, you put a stick, and they are happy with this. But at the same time, I noticed that there are some people who like the process of studying. No matter what the goal is, they just like visiting something, be a part of something. They like to write and to post some information about it, but they don't set goals. Maybe that's going to take them more time to learn something and to study something, more time than to those people who set the goals and reach them. Well,
I kind of agree and disagree, because on the one hand, like when you study, you got a book to study, yeah. So you're going through this book and you got chapter 1. Obviously, when you get to the end of chapter 1, you're going to take a test.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So like, yeah, it's both process and the result. But let's think of, for example, academic skills, because I like probably like 60% of my students are aspirants who want to study in the US or in Europe. Mostly in the US, yeah. So the thing is that exam scores are such a weird thing that they just reflect their results, like the results of their reading skills, writing skills, and overall like critical reading skill, critical thinking skills. Yeah. Yeah, and if I focus on the exam score, not on the long-term building of those skills, it's gonna be a futile time pass for sure. So that's why exam scores are secondary. Yeah, so results are secondary in this case.
Yes. Let's go back to what we started discussing in the very beginning, the barriers. What barriers? While we were thinking about the topic to discuss today on this video, so we still hope that you are watching us.
Do it.
Yeah.
Never stop.
So you told me that you think that there are no barriers that can stop you from learning any foreign language.
Yeah.
I disagree. What about you? You first.
Yeah. I want to say that like some people believe in the so-called language barrier. Can you please define the language barrier? Is it like a glass ceiling, or is it like when it is closed, but the door is closed but not closed? Can you define a language barrier? Like what do you mean exactly? Like,
I think that language barrier is more like a psychological kind of thing. When something happens to you, and this something blocks you from learning something. As an example, you had an experience living abroad. For example, let's take the USA. Something really bad happened there. Was it any relationship that you had? Was it something bad at work, or there was some fail with you? Whatever. And the next time when you, for example, you are back home, Belarus or Russia, for example, and you really understand that you need to study language because your job is related to it. And you try to learn it, but every time you want to pronounce a word, in your memory, you go back to that bad thing that happened in that place. And then...
Or it may happen subconsciously, for example.
Yeah. So in this moment, you agree with me that this kind of barrier can exist.
But this type of barrier is purely psychological. It has
no
relation
but it's a barrier. But
it shows itself as
it's one
as
part.
An impediment, like something that is like blocking the language blocking the student to perform. Yeah.
Okay, let it be psychological barrier, but this is a type of barrier.
Of course, yeah, I agree. So you basically mentioned how phobias are formed.
Yes.
For example, phobias or just fears, like
arachnophobia. Do you know what's that?
Like it's about spiders.
Yes, it's about spiders.
Yeah, agoraphobia. There are different phobias.
Yes, aviophobia.
Yeah, I know a couple of people who hate flying, and they're super scared when they do. Well, I can give my own example. I have like a driving phobia because when I bought my first car, I got into
an accident
twice.
Twice.
Yes. and I don't know why, but
And after that, you decided to use Uber.
well, actually nowadays, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm using Uber, and I'm super happy. Yeah, like not 100% super happy because like this feeling, you know, of power when you drive in a car.
Yes, I like
It's
this feeling.
like, you know, like very powerful, of course. Yeah, it's very strong, and this feeling, like I'm lacking, like it's I'm missing this feeling, of course. But on the other hand, like I kind of, you know, justified my fear. So instead of like learning better driving, instead of you know, like trying more, I just like okay, I just sold that car, and then I calculated that like, oh no, there's
There
so
was that
much
many
money,
expenses.
and like yeah, like why should I do that? And then I need to, like, you know, where
Again,
gonna
I've
park
run
it?
out of petrol.
Yeah, exactly. So first it was like the fear formed, and after that it was justification. Like I justified, like, oh, you know, maybe it's not for me. Maybe like leave
But
in the city center.
don't you
So
think that you have to overcome your fear? Because in the situation where
Yeah.
students come to us with some kind of fear that they have, we try them to overcome this kind of fear. So it seems to me if we are really afraid of something, we have to try to overcome it and not to hide from
by
it.
creating a positive environment
And yes, an
where it
surrounding
is easy
atmosphere.
to make mistakes.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it.
That's true. That's maybe the first thing that I usually tell students on the first lesson, that here is the place where you are allowed, where you have to make mistakes. Because if you don't do mistakes, if you don't make mistakes here, when will you know that you were wrong in this or that situation? One more barrier I can tell you. So the first one from my side was a psychological barrier. The second one, I don't know how to call it. Well, you know, some people have different kind of diseases. It can be mental diseases, or even if it's not a mental disease, after a serious operation, you have, for example, some problems with your sore throat.
Operative disorder or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, everything that I tell you, that comes from my personal experience and the students I really had in my practice. So the last story that happened to me, I have a Spanish student, a great lady, at the age of 40-something, and she was really studying hard. In maybe 60 lessons that we had, she was all the time and she was prepared. But I noticed that it was very difficult for her to talk, and she told me that she has no, I don't remember, thyroid, it's in Spanish, thyroid, щитовидная железа.
Sorry,
I can't remember, sorry guys, you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
check it on the online dictionary.
Yeah, do.
In Spanish it's thyroid, for those who know Spanish. So, and she doesn't have it.
Okay.
And she couldn't even say a word after the operation. She spent months, years, and
Right.
she had a doctor helping her to pronounce any sound, any word. And she decided that, okay, I want to go back to the usual way of life I used to have.
So
And
can
so-
she speak?
Yeah, she can, but it was she did such a huge impact, and she I don't know how to say, she tried hard to
So
reach
it's,
this.
it kind of like it created a psychological difficulty or impediment to speech?
It's not psychological. It's why psychological? That's because you don't have physiological, not psychological.
Right.
Yes, you just can't talk. But she
Okay.
decided to go back to the usual way of life she used to lead, and she applied for the course. And you know, I've lost it. Sorry.
I think everybody's happy.
I can't say that she is one of the best students, but for me, she is the best student because
Like
she did that.
Applies her time and effort.
Yes, to reach the goal, and she can speak. She can speak on very basic topics. She can buy something and order something in the restaurant. So I'm really happy for her.
Yeah, I can even see that from your facial expression because like it was general, but when you spoke about her, you suddenly burst with
I
burst with
guess that-
smile and and I can see that
thank
she
you.
gives you positive emotions.
True. All my lessons, I hope, well, not all. Sometimes, of course, there are difficult lessons when we're discussing some difficult topics, or sometimes, of course, we all have difficult students who are either programmers or who I'm not that very talkative and not that very expressive because in my lessons.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. There are students who use
Who are very shy.
No. Who use the excuse of their job title being not connected to management. They allow themselves not to communicate and think that like,
true.
oh yeah, because I'm not I'm not an analyst. I'm just engineer, so leave me alone.
Yeah. So yeah, sometimes this kind of people also appear. And coming back to this lady, I think that we both did a great job. It was a mutual cooperation.
Right.
It's the best thing when a student and a teacher, they are on the same wavelengths. Yeah, thank you.
No problems. And with to support that guy, probably
the one you mentioned, yes, the engineer.
There is a valid reason behind such behavior because he worked hard. Like, let's imagine I don't know, like a middle-aged guy.
Engineer, he doesn't work. Sometimes they don't work with people. They work with some tools.
Exactly.
Who to talk to.
Right.
And
since he applied his 100% as an engineer, so he developed software. He produced stuff on time, so he learned new technology. So he worked literally his face off in the direction of technology.
Right.
And he took this energy from his social life. So he kind of he thinks that it's going to be the futile use of his energy. If he kind of wastes it on English or whatever, or like origami or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's this thinking is clear, and when such students, and because I have numerous of such students, and the thing is lack of motivation.
It's a challenge for us, like not to say, hey guy, you're not my student, and we can try to do something for him or her not to be in our group, or not to teach him or her. But it's also a challenge for us to try to adjust to this kind of person, because to my mind, everybody has the right, I can say the right to, if he comes to any language school and he wants to apply for any course, to my mind, all the students are equal. Of course, there might be some differences.
Without doubt, I think.
Yeah, but of course there might be. In my experience, I also had that when I was working as an administrator in my language school. Not my, but the school I was working for. There were two guys with really very hard mental diseases. They couldn't even speak. So I couldn't allow them to be a part of one group. Because the behavior of these guys was weird, and I didn't know what to do. Or should we, in this situation, hire somebody who can speak English very well, and at the same time being a doctor or a psychologist, whatever, or what to do. But unfortunately, not only me, but the owner of the school, she had to reject them, and they were not in the group.
Well,
but that's the only exception. As I mentioned, everybody is equal, and for the teachers, it's a challenge to adapt to every student.
Well, as for me, I have certain requirements. And it's kind of
for student, for a person to become your student. Will you please announce these requirements now?
Well,
if you can.
Okay, sure. Yeah, the list of requirements to become my student. So first, it's not easy because it's a challenge actually to become a student. So first, my classes are kind of expensive for Minsk. So you gotta really understand the value of it. You should be motivated.
I am more cheaper, so contact me.
You mean you provide classes for lower rate, yeah?
I mean, yes, so I charge less than you. I don't know how much do you charge, but as you say that for Minsk it's very expensive. So
Yeah, probably.
okay,
Yeah, right. Yeah, many
continue.
people get shocked and never respond back. Like for like like it's a common.
That was the last video that we did.
Yeah, it's a common way. So somebody contacts me and says like, oh yeah, like I found your contact, or like somebody suggested that I should text you, like as a great teacher. So tell me about yourself. I say, sure, what do you want to know? Please check my website. And they're like, oh great, I checked your website. What's the price? And then I give the price and never hear from this person again.
Your price is here on your website, and they see it,
Okay.
and they
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
it's
right.
there, and they see that, and they don't
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. So I kind of simplify and eliminate the students that are unlikely to join my classes because like it's just expensive. They're not gonna do it, so they're not going to interact with me about like nothing. Like they're gonna like
Okay, right now
ask me
90%.
stupid questions like how do you teach, or like which methods do you use? Oh,
I
which
had
methods do you know?
once I had a professor who bought a book on methodology.
Yeah.
He read it completely from the first page to the last one, and he told me, "Oh, I like you apply this method, then you apply this." And I was like, "What do you need it for? Will it help you to speak better? Will it help you to order a food in the restaurant? Will it help you to go to their luggage claim?" And
Right.
but he was a professor. He wanted to do that.
Okay.
So 90% of people who are watching us right now,
Yeah.
they are already not your students because of the first point.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So still, let's continue the list.
Yeah. Also, like the thing is that you have to do everything on my terms, because like first you have to tell me like what's your goal and everything, and without understanding what I'm going to do, like I'm not gonna start a course just because you somehow feel like I should. Yeah. Like one thing is that if the person, if the prospective student or client is trying to put pressure, like some people believe that I owe them a consultation. Like I give free consultation.
But you but to your student you do it while you're teaching him or her during the lesson.
I'm going to reveal the secret right now.
Guys, watch it, revealing the secret.
Yeah. I give free consultations to prospective students that come from a reference of a valued student.
Okay.
So who's a valued student who has achieved his goal? It's not about whether I like him or I don't like him, like as a person or like by appearance, whatever. To qualify as a quality student is to achieve your goal, whether you studied with them for 2 weeks or I just consulted you like 5 years ago, like on one topic. You're a quality student, like you qualify very well because you achieved your goal.
Do you remember every student, like a guy who was a student? How many years have you been teaching actually?
Like totally, I think 8 plus.
8+. So, okay, a guy who was Petr Ivanov, your student 8 years ago, he's writing to you, "Hi Nick, will you please help me with this?" And you forgot him because it was 8 years ago.
It's not possible because.
Oh, you remember all of them?
Because all the inquiries come either through email or through
Social media.
Social media, yeah, and all the information is there. So from emails, I run the same email, and I can find him. For example, yesterday, one potential client, not potential, like he used to be my student like 3 years ago, I think. He used to study with me, so we reached kind of like upper intermediate, and now he wants an advanced certificate. And he asked like how much time he needs and everything.
Where did they get the certificate? So you can't give them your certificate, or after they had some lessons with you, they go, for example, to international house and they pass an exam there.
Yeah,
or how it goes.
Well, we're going to discuss, like with this specific student, we're going to discuss whether he needs CAE or he needs Business English certificate.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that he means CAE because Business English is like, come on, he's a businessman, like he's got a like company, kind of like like
And
very known
actually,
in Minsk.
it's a different topic to discuss, but some of their books that I study for business English, half of the topics are the same that ordinary like English course book has. Only with some plus elements.
Yeah, so if you're a teacher like for like 5 years plus, if you're doing it like not for the first year, so probably you are able to arrange materials in such a way that most suitable for the student and for you to
For sure.
like arrange the material.
I even got lots of requires the same like this kind of student is elementary or pre-intermediate and I need business English. If you are an elementary student, you need just basic English first of all, even pre-intermediate, and only after we can talk about some kind of business, or of course if somebody needs advanced proficiency, whether it's a lawyer or somebody else, of course it's different.
No, when I talk about making it personal, I mean like to relate it to the personality and what he does. Of course, there's no problem. For example, I got like among my students, I had numerous business analysts, software engineers, like human resource directors, and then like of course directors, like all of them, and like cooks, more than one, like professional chefs, and then accountants. Like I can go, I can go on and on. Yeah.
Let me be the person who will still remind the topic that we are discussing. So barriers. So I've already announced some of the barriers I think that that happened in my practice sometimes.
Yeah.
Any other barriers? So you say that there are no barriers?
There's only one barrier.
Which one?
Lack of motivation.
It's true, lack of motivation, and maybe is it a barrier, the lack of money?
Lack of money?
For example, let's take Petya Ivanov, who is working in in a factory.
Petya Ivanov, we are taking
he's working in... Do you have Petya Ivanov among your friends?
No, I don't.
Sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
No, I also don't have Petya Ivanov. Oh, maybe Petya Ivanov, if you're watching us, sorry for taking as an example your name. He works in Belarus company, for example. His salary is 300 rubles. He pays the rent, he pays the fare, what else he can pay, and of course like, he needs some
bills.
Yes, and of course, and he has to eat something.
And he drinks beer with his friends regularly on Friday nights.
That's what happens to Spanish people from the south. They say they tell that we have no money, but every evening they're gonna drink beer, coffee, or something, and they have no money. So, as an example, Petya Ivanov, he has no money, but he has a strong desire to study English.
Right.
Can that be his barrier?
Barrier? What's it? You said desire. Desire is a motivation. So what is
true,
the barrier?
But for example, he wants to go to you as a professional, or he wants to go to any language school, but he has no money.
Welcome, whatever, like Petya Pietro for Ivanov. Welcome. You can contact me. You can pay for a consultation. I can outline what you have to do step by step. And if I see, for example, like the first step is, I don't know, like to watch a video and summarize it, based on the level, of course, yeah. And then like watch the video.
But he has no money to pay you, or any person.
Why is that? How is that he doesn't have money if he works for a plant?
Yeah, but I mean that some people, their salary is very low, and they would love to do something.
He can take one consultation from me.
One, yes. And actually, guys, a hint for you, you can use that many online resources that can help you also to learn something. Well, but you also have to know what are the good resources, because sometimes if you just watch somebody talking on a very stupid, talking about very stupid things, it won't help you to increase your language knowledge.
Well, there is one thing regarding online resources for a person who is employed with a major plant in our country. It's going to be a big issue. He's not going to do it because he's going to stop being demotivated by this paralysis by analysis. He's going to compare all these online courses, like what to start with, like he's going to be totally confused. So that's why even it is more fruitful for him to pay me for a consultation, so that I could outline at least in general, like what is going to be the first achievement, what is the next step, because he's taking an online course.
So he
What's
will
next?
he will see that it's more useful and profitable for him
Yeah.
to get somebody professional to pay money for him than go
Right.
to any pub and drink beer.
Yeah.
He can save this way some money to invest this money in his self-study or to go to
Self-development,
self-development.
absolutely.
Yes.
Right.
Can you please check the time? I'm
Yeah,
sorry
of
for
course.
asking.
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead. Guess we are. We have to go already.
Guys, we're very sorry. We were
Yeah.
really happy to see you. So, a question to you. Think of, please, if you agree or disagree,
Yeah.
if this phenomenon as language barrier exists.
Does the language barrier exist?
Does it exist? Yes.
Yeah.
What-
According to me, it doesn't.
According
And
to me, there are still some, and I've mentioned them. Then one more question I have: what is or was the most difficult for you in the process of studying any foreign language? It may be English or any different foreign language.
thank you, Alla, for joining me in this wonderful video cast. I hope we're gonna make it weekly, like with no promises, because we are,
We'll
of course,
try.
very busy people. Thank you so much,
Thank you, Nick.
and keep watching.
Adios.